So we'll start with copy and paste, which is a pretty cool new feature in Craft 5.7. So I'm just running the TrailQuest site. I've said this a million times. This is the site that we build in Real World Craft CMS, which is one of my flagship courses here at CraftQuest. But if I go into, this is like an adventure. This is like a trail running company. And if I go in here and I'm going to go to, I have a content builder here. And I can go in and click on this 3-dot menu. And now I can do copy all entries here, which will get all of the entries inside of this matrix field. Or I can go in into an individual entry, like this rich content block here, and just copy that one. So let me just copy all entries. You can see now we get this little, what do they call this? A toast or a toaster element here that tells us that we're in like a copy state. This is our clipboard essentially. It's copied 9 entries. It's got them all stacked here. And now I can go down and I've now have this paste button. I don't know why this is like a gradient purple, but maybe to stand out. It just seems like it was something from another application, but
that is just a very flamboyant button. Like, yeah, it doesn't. Yeah,
it definitely catches your attention, which is probably the idea, so you know where you can paste. But now I can paste all of these right here, and they've been duplicated as a whole new set of entries. And then our little toast element here goes away. I assume that means that whatever the clipboard is has now been cleared, so it's no longer available to you. So unlike your clipboard on Mac OS, right, you likely don't have a history of that. And there you go. It just pasted everything in. So we can copy all of those. I can also go in here, and if I just wanted to create, if I just wanted to copy one, I can do that. And it told me that it copied it. And I can also go, oh, I guess that won't work. I thought I could go to a new entry, but I don't think I can. But now I can paste.
By the way, Sean Smith is saying that the button matches the border on the toast that appeared when you copied them in the first place. So maybe they're trying to provide a little continuity, and then also because they don't really have a selected state, I guess they have to have a UI that kind of points out that.
So this might be a new UI pattern for these types of interactive things. Anyway, but yeah, so you can just copy and paste. Now, another thing you can also do is, not that one. You have to be in you have to be in essentially a nested field like this. All right, so now I can go in, I can copy all entries. In an individual entry here, I could copy and paste, but then there's also the option to duplicate. So I can just duplicate and it drops it right below.
All right, so here's something I don't know, but I bet you it works the way I'm thinking. What if you use that little select checkbox to click on 2 of them?
Yes. I don't
Do you then copy just those 2?
Let's see.
I bet you do.
Copy. No, it's only the one.
What about up top where the main... Oh, you're still
copying all entries.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm surprised they didn't do that. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, it's doing all 21. All right, so we can copy, paste, and then duplicate. Probably really handy, especially if you have a content builder, a page builder like we have here for these adventures, and maybe you wanted to just quickly copy or duplicate a new CTA, then you can do that. It's going to duplicate it right below the one that you're duplicating, whereas copy lets you drop it down at the bottom. So that's it, copy and paste. So I think that'll be a nice feature for people, and that's in 5.7. Another thing that
we do have a question before you transition. Sorry,
yes.
We do have a question from John Morton. He says, can you copy between entries? In other words, go to one section, copy, and then go to another section and copy
And
them in. Or
that was
paste them
my
in.
understanding, is that I can.
Yep.
And then, okay, so I have changed it. They won't be saved, but yeah. So I can go in, and you can see I still have my clipboard, and I can go in here and paste, and boom. So I could theoretically, copy a whole, set of entries from a matrix field and then put them in a new one. So yes, that is something that we can do.
And
Okay, very
then
cool.
Danny says that the color of magic, referring to the purple color of the button. Will Brower is asking, is the copy and paste handled via PHP under the hood, or is it done via the UI?
Oh, I do not know the answer to that. I did not
I'm
actually look up
I'm
how
going to
that
make an
works.
educated guess
Yeah.
that it is done via the UI. Like I think they're copying the blob of references. Maybe it's element IDs or whatever, and they're stashing that away somewhere. And then when they paste it in, the UI just creates all of that stuff. And it's not until the form is submitted that it goes to the back end, or a draft is saved. Same thing. That the form is actually submitted to the PHP backend is my guess, having not looked at it at all. But that's
Okay.
my best guess.
Will, if you can research that before we're done with the live stream, let us know. I'll
You're
send you
giving Will homework. All right.
I'll send you a T-shirt. All right. Let's keep going, Andrew, because I know I want to get to the howl stuff. Another thing here, I'm going to go into one of these adventures, and I have this thing called pricing here, and I want to be able to now restrict who can edit this price, because I don't want any Yahoo in here editing a price and changing things. So if I go into my fields, and I have this price field here, we can now. Actually, it's not in the source of the field. It would be in the entry type. Go into adventures. All right. So in the price, going to go into the settings, and we have visibility conditions, which we've had, but now we have editability conditions. And you can set a condition for who is allowed to edit this. So if I say that let's make the username equals Andrew and apply that, that means only the person with Andrew can edit that, as far as
I like it.
I can tell. And if I go into prices, you can see now I'm actually an admin is my username, and now I get the little verboten icon here, so I cannot edit this. This could actually be really key for things like where you are putting in prices where you want to limit who has access to edit those. There's other conditions in there that you can use, so that's a pretty cool one. Another thing in the let me go back to the same one. In these entries here is the button group now that they've added. As a field type, this is just kind of mocked up here. This doesn't do anything yet, but you can see I can set the page layout. You can do it for how an asset or something is laid out, whether it's full layout, constrained, or mega cool layout. When you're editing these, you can also edit the where's the page layout? You can also add in a icon, and whether it's the default, and then it's just essentially a set of options here with a label, a value, and an icon. You can toggle it to icons only if you want, but the name of the field type is button group. So again, that might be a little bit of UX. And then another one I wanted to show, Andrew, is I have this new data tab here, and there's a new JSON field type that where you can drop in some JSON, and then you get some stuff on the front end with that. I actually don't know if where's my, one second. Didn't have that ready to go. So you get some stuff on the front end with that. And if I can find it, where did I put it? Here we go. So I have a link here to the pull request where Brandon has detailed what is available here. So you have get type, get value, get JSON, and you can set whether it should be pretty or indented. And this is kind of how you can work with that JSON. But in short, I just have this field. It's called external data. And then if you just dump this, that's not the place. That would be the place. You can see it's just a JSON data type. And then you have all of that data here available as an array. And then you can iterate over it. You can work with it. So if you do have to drop in a blob of JSON for some reason, I've actually done this in projects where I had to do that. Now we have a full-fledged JSON field type available as well. And then two more things. And then we're going to get to how. All right. Next is link types. So if we go to, let me find a link field here. Where do I have a link? Here we go. We have a new type called SMS. So now SMS is a valid link type that you can add in that came as part of a feature request in GitHub. So pretty common, especially, I don't know how common it is in the US, but outside the US, it's fairly common to text to get more information about things. And then there's also some new non-reserved field handles that I wanted to call out because people have probably run into these. So here we go. Class handle, content, raw content, and value are no longer global reserved handles. Search keywords is no longer globally reserved except for custom fields. Section and type are no longer global reserved except for custom fields within entry type field layouts. Post date is no longer a reserved custom field handle except within entry type field layouts, and username is no longer one. So if you have run into issues with these, or if you find yourself needing these and you can meet the restrictions in terms of whether you're using the custom fields or within an entry type field layout, then check that out. So full changelog is available on GitHub. You can check that out. Also, our Craft CMS DevRel engineer, Travis, has been, he created a little summary video that is essentially taking these little excerpts here and he's giving some commentary over them. But also there is
I thought you were going to say he's taking your job.
Well, my job isn't to do release promo for Craft, although it's always nice to do that just like I did here. But there's a what's new page on craftcms.com where they're highlighting the Craft 5.7 features, most of those of which I've gone over here. But check that out. So that's 5.7, and if you're brave and you want to update right now, go for it. But read through the whole changelog. There's a lot more than even what's on what's new. There's a lot of stuff that's already